Hi guys, in this video, I'm going to be showing you 4 worst exercises you shouldn't be performing in the gym because of safety and high risks of injuries. Guys, for me, the number one thing in the gym is safety. If I'm performing an exercise and I know that exercise is going to put me at risk of injuring myself, I don't perform that exercise at all. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the 4 worst exercises that I don't even touch. I don't even perform this exercise. I don't even try to understand why people perform these exercises in the gym. Because these exercises put your joints at risk, not only at risk, but also long-term injuries. So I'm going to be showing you these 4 exercises that I've seen perform in the gym, and most of the time people complain of shoulders, knees, and hip injuries. The number 1 exercise is behind the neck shoulder press. I'm going to be performing this exercise. I'm going to be showing the reason why you shouldn't do these exercises later on, but I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't do behind the neck shoulder press. I see people doing behind the neck shoulder press all the time because they felt like if they put the weight behind their shoulder, they're gonna be able to build the shoulder muscle from behind, which is completely false. The only shoulder muscles behind our shoulders is our rear delt. And to perform a rear delt, you have to go more into an arc, moving away from your body to get your rear delt. You do not get your rear delt by doing behind the neck shoulder press. So I'm going to explain to you why you shouldn't do behind the neck shoulder press. I'm going to turn sideways to show you the reason why behind the neck shoulder press is very, very risky when it comes to shoulder joints. So when I see people doing behind the neck shoulder press, what they do is they pick up the weight. I'm not going to use any weight because I don't want to, put my shoulders at risk. So I'm just going to use my hand, my arm demonstration, and my shoulder angle and my elbow angles to let you know why you shouldn't perform these exercises at all. So they put the weight behind their shoulders and they square their shoulders beyond their shoulder angle. So at this point, I can already feel my shoulder joint just screaming a little bit. Imagine if I have a weight, a bar behind my shoulder right now, behind my neck, the stress is even going to be severe. So what's happening right now in this angle, my elbow is flying farther away from the angle of my loading here in my shoulder. So in this position, what's happening is the shoulder joint and the humerus bone, which is the bone right here, your clavicle right here, and your scapula coming back from this place. So what happens is the shoulder muscle is just hanging around these 3 bones. When you pull your shoulders behind, so what's happening, your shoulder is going to be trapped in. Your shoulder muscles, tendons, and ligaments, they're going to be trapped in that angle. So while you're performing the exercise, the wear and tear of the joints, the shoulder joints, your labrum, your tendons and ligaments becomes more severe. So although you think you're working your shoulders, but the problem here is you're actually putting more stress on your shoulders. So in turn, when you keep doing these exercises year in, year out, eventually you're going to have a shoulder problem. So my big advice for you today is stop the insanity. Stop the insanity of doing shoulder behind your neck. Do not press anything behind your shoulders because you playing a Russian roulette with your shoulder joint, your labrum, your tendons, your rotator cuff, and your shoulder muscles. Because those 3 bones, they're right here to hang and move your arms straight up and down in front of you, not behind you. Now I'm going to show you the proper shoulder and elbow angle. So you make sure you keep your elbows a little forward in front of you so you can see the back of your shoulders a little bit. So the elbow shouldn't be square. Your elbow should be slightly pointed forward. So when you do this, what you're doing is you're clearing the congestion, the stress right here when it comes to performing this exercise. So when you keep your elbows forward a little bit and you want to press upward, you don't want to press backwards. You want to press upward. So when you're pressing upward in this position, what you're doing is you're loading your shoulders a little bit more than if you come back, you're stressing your shoulder joints. So guys, make sure you remember this. No more behind the neck shoulder press. I don't care what anyone has told you about you doing behind the neck shoulder press is going to make your shoulder bigger. It's going to develop your shoulder from a different angle. This is completely false. No more behind the neck shoulder press. Forget it. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you even more. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a demo of the behind the neck shoulder press. As you guys can see, I'm a very lightweight here. I don't want to hurt my shoulders. So when I see in the gym when people are doing behind the neck shoulder press, I'm going to turn sideways so you guys can see what I'm trying to show you. Turning sideways this way. Now to put the arm behind the shoulder, my elbow is basically behind my back and I'm pushing back that way. In this position, I can feel my shoulder muscle a little bit, but my joint, I can really feel my joint kind of like pinching together. So the proper form is to bring your elbows in front of you, like this. And now you can see how my elbow is slightly in front of me. You know, you can see your shoulders. When you turn your head to the side, you can see your shoulders. And you just press straight up. Right there. Squeeze, back down. So you want to always follow the path of loading. You don't need to push it back this way. You shouldn't be going back and forth like that. You should maintain that angle, maintain the line, maintain the path. And then when you get to the top, you squeeze. Come down the same way. Elbows slightly fold into the front a little bit. And then you push with your shoulders. So in that position, with my elbows forward, I can't feel my shoulder joints at all. But I can feel my muscle working 100%. My number 2 worst exercise in the gym is behind the neck pull downs. I see these exercises performed in the gym every single day, even with so-called expert personal trainers. The same situation you're locked in when you're doing behind the neck shoulder press, this is the same situation that's going to happen when you're doing behind the neck pull downs. Once again, when you're doing behind the neck pull down, your arms are behind you, your elbows are way behind your shoulders, and you're pulling down this way. See how I'm pulling down? My shoulders are rotating forward and I'm not really loading my lat and my back muscle. So the proper way to perform this exercise is just like in the shoulder press. You want your elbows to stay in front of you and pull in front of you. You want to pull your elbows down to the side of your body and not behind your shoulders and not behind your neck. So make sure you perform this exercise properly. Stop behind the neck shoulder press. Stop behind the neck pull downs. This is not going to help make your back bigger. It's not going to develop your back. This is only going to put you at high risk of injuries. And if you want to have longevity in this sport, even if you're not a bodybuilder, if you're just a guy that just want to look good, look healthy, feel healthy, you don't want to bring injuries into the equation. Make sure you completely eliminate these 2 exercises, shoulder press, behind the neck shoulder press, out of your exercises, out of your program completely. Okay guys, I'm here at the pull down machine. I'm going to show you the improper form. I'm going to show you the reason why you shouldn't do behind the neck shoulder pull downs, and I'm going to show you the proper form. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to reduce the weight behind the neck because I don't want to hurt my shoulders. So when I see people doing this, you guys can see my neck is moving forward and my back is not really contracting the way I want it to contract. All I'm doing is just stretching my shoulders out. Now you see that position. Now I'm going to do the proper form, which is the lat pull down in front. You guys will see what I'm talking about. Shoulders down, chest high, elbows slightly forward, pull down, squeeze. You go up really slow, chest up, pull down, squeeze. So you guys can see I'm not feeling my neck, I'm not feeling my shoulders. My back is responding 100%. Squeeze. Right there. So there you have it. No behind the neck pull downs. Pull the arms always in front of you. Keep your chest up, elbows slightly forward. And doing this exercise this way with your elbows forward, pulling your elbows down to your side, you're going to develop your back the way you want it to develop without stressing your shoulders out. So my third worst exercise is behind the neck pull-ups. Now, this one is the most severe one out of the whole three. It's the most dangerous one. The reason why it's so dangerous is because when you're hanging your body straight down and you try to pull your body weight all the way up, you have your lat, your bicep is pulling a little bit, and there's a lot of stress in your shoulders as well. So if you're pulling behind your neck, what this is going to do is going to put your labrum, your rotator cuff, your tendons and ligaments, you're going to put them at risk because you're pulling your whole body weight. So don't do anything behind your neck, not behind your neck, behind the neck pull-ups, no behind the neck pull-downs, no behind the neck shoulder press. Stop all this behind the neck stuff. It's not going to help you develop your shoulders or your back muscle. It's only going to help you, put you at risk of injuries. So cut this out. No more behind the neck shoulder press, no more behind the neck pull down, and no more behind the neck pull-ups. When you don't do these exercises, you're not going to put your shoulders at risk of injuries. All you have to do, make sure you do everything in front of you. Anything you want to do, it could be shoulder press, lat pull downs, pull-ups, stay in front of you, angle your shoulders, your elbows a little bit in front of you so you can be able to open up your shoulder joints and not stress out your shoulder joints. So my fourth was exercise that I don't want you performing in the gym. This might even shock you. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there performing this exercise every single time you do your leg workout. Walking lunges. Yes, I said it. Walking lunges. Walking lunges is the worst when it comes to knee injuries and hip injuries. The reason for that, when you're doing walking lunges, every time you step and move forward, before you move forward, you have to angle your knee to compensate for your movement. And when you angle your knee forward, you will point your knees over your toes. And that will stress your knee going forward. And then because you're dragging the back leg, you'll put a lot of stress on your hip coming forward. So I'm going to demonstrate these exercises for you in a minute, but stop walking lunges. I've seen people perform this exercise. I'm talking about top elite bodybuilders. I've seen so-called great personal trainers perform this exercise with their client. Every time I see them do this exercise, I can't watch because I know what's going to happen to this client or to these bodybuilders later in life. They're going to have hip and knee problems. So stop the insanity, like I said earlier. No more walking lunges. Only do stationary lunges. I'm going to show you the reason why you shouldn't do walking lunges and demonstrate these walking lunges exercises for you so you can stop doing them for life. Now guys, I'm going to show you the reason why you shouldn't do walking lunges anymore. This is the reason why. Now I see guys going straight down, holding onto a dumbbell or putting the bar behind their shoulders, and they go straight down to a lunge position. As they go straight down to a lunge position with their dumbbells and their bar behind their shoulders, and they move forward to pick that leg up. So as you move forward, as you guys can see, you see that knee rotating over your toes? That's a no-no. That's a lot of stress on your patella tendon, ACL, MCL, and your kneecap. Now, if you don't want to have knee issue when you're working out or later, years down the road, you do not want to do walking lunges. So what happens when before I move forward, I have to move this way. As my knee goes forward with my quads, I'm stressing my knees out. As I'm pulling the back leg forward, I'm stressing my right hips out. And I climb this one down. Once again, knees going forward before I move. This is a very bad position to be in, especially when it comes to your knee problem, your knee angle. So the only lunges that I do stationary lunges. Stationary lunges basically will prevent you from rocking back and forth. It will prevent your knees from going over your toes, and it prevents you from stressing your hips out, your hips on the other side. So when I do my stationary lunges, usually I put a bar behind my shoulders. I don't hold on to the dumbbell, because sometimes when you hold on to a dumbbell, you're working too hard to hold on to the dumbbell instead of just thinking about your quads and your glutes. So what I do, I put a bar behind my shoulders. I get my lunge stance right here. As I'm going straight down, my knee stays in a 90-degree angle. Your knee wants to be a 90-degree angle, and as you're coming up, push the hips into the quads. Really slow, hands behind, hips into the quads. Drop the back leg, hips back, straight up and down. As you can see, my knees are not rocking back and forth. I can't feel my knees at all. I can feel my quads, and I can feel my glutes. So, this is the proper way to do lunges. No more walking lunges. Cut walking lunges out, because when you walk lunge, your knee, your hip, they're at high risk. Even your back, because you have to move forward a little bit to compensate because you're walking with the weight. So forget about these walking lunges. Do stationary lunges. Build muscle the right way. Protect yourself. Get yourself at a high risk of injuries. So I'm so happy that I'm able to give you all this information. Get away from behind the neck shoulder press. Get away from behind the neck pull downs, behind the neck pull-ups. So make sure you do all the exercises that you need to do to help you develop the muscle that you want to develop. And so that way you train injury-free and have longevity, being healthy, looking good and feeling good. So I'm so happy that you guys are responding to my videos. I've gotten a lot of comments, a lot of likes on my videos. So keep supporting our program. Click the thumbs up button on the bottom. If you want the full program of Miami Muscle, please go to MiamiMuscleUSA.com. Everything is right there. Any questions you want to ask us, how to develop your own program geared to your own body type, and also how to develop your own nutrition geared to your body type. So this is Mojo Oluwa signing off. Miami Muscle. Make sure you stay away from all those 4 exercises. See you soon.